Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of Learn Italian with Songs. Today we are going to talk about Diamanti Grezzi by Clara. And it is exactly thanks to the nice Clara who will allow us to go from the songs of Sanremo 2025 edition to Sanremo 2024 edition, because I analyzed only a bunch of them from last year. So finally we are going to finish the bunch of 2025 edition. After a long time, I know, but this week, specifically this Friday, we are going to finish it. So I can see Gas is already fangirling, and reasonably so. Why? Because the sweet Clara is going to accompany us from one edition to the another with all her talent and beauty, because Clara is another example of bravissima and bellissima. But why Clara? Why did I let her last? Some might say dulcis in fundo, which in Latin, non Italian, in Latin means the sweet at the end, okay? So the best thing at the end. And to be fair, her songs are of course very good, but they have something peculiar that makes this transition smoother. Because Diamanti Grezzi is not Clara's entry for 2025, and that's why we are going to finish the bunch of Sanremo 2025 on Friday, because on Friday I'm going to analyze her entry for this year, Febbre. But today we talk about Diamanti Grezzi. Why? First of all, because this is her entry, but for Sanremo 2024, okay? And because alongside Nero Gotico, a single, but also part of an album, but released also as a single, just like Diamanti Grezzi, and Febbre, these three songs have a common thread, okay? So, Febbre finished a little bit what Diamanti Grezzi started. And in fact, a little trivia, we are going to discuss more trivia towards the end, like in the discussion part of the stream. Clara explained that she started to write Febbre before Diamanti Grezzi. So, little trivia concerning this point. And since, however, we have to follow the release order, okay, because they are all related but not in progression, they pretty much tell a common story, okay? They have a common thread. And this thread of this trilogy, Diamanti Grezzi, Nero Gotico, and Febbre, are youth, love, and relationships. So get ready for some breakup and toxic relationship, just like we love it. Now, as usual, let's start from the translation of the title, Diamanti Grezzi, Rough Diamonds. This was released as a single, but it became later part of the first album released by Clara, which is titled Primo First. Which is funny because 2024 was the year of the first times for Clara. She, in fact, doesn't start her career as a singer per se, but more as a model and then an actor, okay? And finally, thanks to the fact that she participated as an actress in a TV series, Italian TV series titled Mare Fuori, The Sea Outside, translated in English, The Sea Beyond. The producer was one of her fans and decided to include her songs in the soundtrack. Now, This allowed her to have some more visibility. Then she won in 2023 or 2024, I don't remember, Sanremo Giovani, okay, which is a separate category of Sanremo. And then she participated in the so-called Bigs, so the singers and participating in Sanremo Music Festival in 2024. So it was her first time at Sanremo. Same year was also the first time where she could start her career as a musician, as a singer. And also was her first time with an album, and that's why the album Gathering, Diamanti Grezzi and Nero Gotico is called Primo, first. But what does Diamanti Grezzi talks about? What's the topic of this song? As usual, I managed to find a statement released by the artist, which translated would be: this Sanremo song is an invitation to not to give up. A common theme in many songs of this edition, because in 2024, that's true, it was like a common topic among the songs. You can fall, yes, but you should never lose sight of your essence, like of your authenticity, okay? Rough like diamonds, yet so precious, bright and resilient. Now, if you ask me, resilient both in English and in Italian would be resiliente, the adjective, and the noun resilience would be resilienza. It is a little bit abused nowadays because resilience is a mechanical property, okay, like mechanics, like the part of the physics, okay, and it is more it concerns more other materials, okay? Blaue, fun fact, I don't know if English has a name for fake diamonds, so the diamonds made in the lab, but Italian, fun fact, has it. In fact, in Italian, diamante is the diamond, the one produced naturally, okay? The one that you have go and mine it, okay? While if the diamond is produced in the laboratory, okay, it is called zircone. Random fun facts about diamonds. Anyway, it is funny to see the word resilience and the adjective resilient related to diamonds because diamonds are not resilient. Normally, it is a property of materials able to absorb energy without breaking, okay? And it is more common for other materials such as rubber, for example, and linoleum. This should be some of the most resilient materials. Some metals maybe, but yeah, the classic resilient material is rubber usually, not really diamond. Normally diamonds are more concerning like being shiny, okay, which makes sense. Diamond, you want to shine, fair point. Now, in my opinion, in this song there is a lot of mare fuori. Why? Because the Italian drama TV series first aired on Rai 2, an Italian channel, in 2020, in the September 2020, focuses on the adventures of the inmates and staff of an imaginary juvenile detention center in Naples, loosely based on Nisidia prison, which is, if I remember correctly, here you can see my almost criminologist emerging. So I think Nisidia is a very peculiar prison built on an island. We have this thing about building prisons on islands as human beings, and since Italy is a peninsula, you can imagine it was quite easy for us. So yeah, basically, it was a it is a series. I didn't watch it yet, despite being a bit old. But of course, talks about difficult situations and reality afflicting youth, and of course, also relationships. But without further ado, why am I saying this? Let's see the lyrics so I can show you. Let's start with the first verse. Siamo caduti più in basso come le cascate. We fell lower like waterfalls. Because of course, how does a waterfall works? Higher spot with a river. Interruption. Waterfalling. Waterfall. Cercando di prendere il volo sopra queste case. Trying to take flight above these houses. Ho visto, in amore, persone un po' troppo sfacciate. I've seen in love people a little too brazen. Ferirsi lasciandosi le ali spezzate. Hurt each other and leaving their wings broken. Dimmelo te se ti piace. Tell me yourself if you like it. So this repetition of the pronoun, so we have te and ti, is to stress the question, the indirect question. Tell me if you like it, like, as in, do you really like it? Like, is this really something you want? Rhetoric questions, normally the answer should be no, because what will be described is a little bit a toxic dynamic, okay? So hurting each other. So we have a couple, maybe, but could be also friends. Like, I assume in couple because she mentions in amore, in love, okay? As in concerning love, not falling in love, because in Italian there is not such construction. So we have a couple, probably of lovers, trying to fly above these houses, maybe flying away as in escaping a place. Maybe trying to reach a certain goal, okay? But this couple ended up falling and breaking their wings, probably due to problematic relationship dynamics. Then we have the pre-chorus. Ma si spezza la corda, but the rope breaks. Ci resta poco o nulla. We have little or nothing left. Ma siamo ancora a galla. But we are still afloat. Chissà perché. Who knows why? Siamo la prima volta. We are the first time. Quella che non si scorda. The one that you don't forget. In Italian it is impersonal. Quel bacio con la lingua, that kiss with the tongue, che fa paura, that is scary. In Italian would be that generates fear, okay? Chissà mentioned. Now, What is this rope that breaks? It could be the safe rope. So the idea, for example, of when you do climbing or certain dangerous activities and you have a rope holding you, a little bit like the safe net. Okay. So, what was helping us, saving us, breaks, and we are left with nothing. Generally, what is described here is the failure, the natural failure of life. In fact, she says, we have little or nothing left, but we are somehow still afloat. Because mainly nowadays, where perfectionism is shown on social media relentlessly, one might say, we are forgetting that life actually is not like that at all. Life, human life, it is made of mistakes, failures, because this is how you get the good things, by trial and error. And it is very important to remember that failure, it is a physiological and healthy part of our lives. So yes, the rope is going to break, we'll be left with little or nothing, but somehow we'll keep being afloat because this is a very human thing, very human design. And then she mentions the first times here, because of course, probably here it is described generally the first experiences, okay? The experience of the rough diamond, okay? Because we are rough diamonds. We are diamonds having the potential to shine, but still not the polish. Okay, we're not polished yet. How can we become polished and not rough diamonds? By experiencing life, and of course we are going to fail and we are going to have many first times. Here the first time, since we are talking about mainly love and relationships, since it is a very dear theme to Clara, we have what scares many teenagers a bit. So the first kiss with the tongue and whatnot. Probably more generally, I'm thinking also the first relationship, romantic and sexual experiences. Okay. Then we have a little bridge. Scendo tra 24 ore. I'm coming down in 24 hours, like to go out. Because in Italian we often have this thing that we live in high places, like houses with several floors. So we have maybe someone coming to pick us up or that we have to meet, and they are like, ok, I'm here, ok, I'm coming down, ok, adesso scendo. Cerco per strada l'amore. I'm looking for love and on the street. Aspetto uno su 1.000.000. I'm waiting for one in a million. Te lo ricordi? Do you remember? What? And then we have the chorus. Cosa siamo noi? What are we? Solo diamanti grezzi. Only rough diamonds, because we are youth. Cadono in 1.000 pezzi, they fall into 1,000 pieces, di una storia sola, of a single story. So, we are youth and we are a set, an ensemble, a group of 1,000 pieces, 1,000 experiences, if you will, of a single story, ours. Dove andremo poi? Where we'll go next? Se corriamo a fari spenti, if we run with our headlights off, non siamo più gli stessi. We are no longer the same. Non sappiamo ancora, we still don't know what. Fare a meno di parole che quando si schiantano lasciano il segno. To do, doing without words that when they crash leave a mark. As in, we can help but still using words that leave a mark when they crash, like when they hit, when they reach. Corrono sopra i 300, implied chilometri all'ora. They run, as in they speed, above 300 km per hour. In mezzo alle strade del centro, in the middle of the streets of the center. Non saremo mai, we will never be, quello che poi ti aspetti. What then you expect. Oro nei fallimenti, gold in failures. Solo diamanti grezzi, only rough diamonds. Now, as I said, we are youth made by 1,000 pieces. We might lose our way if we run with our headlight off. So if we blind ourselves, okay, if we want to be blind, we are no longer the same because, of course, it is a portion of your life where you change. It is a moment of change. Non sappiamo ancora fare a meno di parole che quando si schiantano lasciano il segno. We still can't help but using words that leave a mark when they crash. So what are those words? Those are the words of people who didn't learn yet how to properly communicate. And what are those words? Those are the words that scar you. Insult, offenses, anything that hurts, mainly in relationship, right? Those classical first loves where you have two people who still don't know themselves, don't know how to regulate themselves, don't know how to communicate properly, and thus they keep hurting each other. So words that speed above 300 kilometers per hour in the middle of the streets of the center. Why? This is a metaphor to convey how dangerous they are. Why? Because, of course, you take a car and you go 300 kilometers per hour, aka very fast, in the middle of the streets of the center, chances are you are going to cause and be involved in very bad accidents, okay? So, this is how Clara conveys how dangerous this lack of communication and ability to communicate is. But as a youth, we are also rebels because we will never be what you expect. We are the gold in failures. Only rough diamonds. And then we have the second verse. Cosa c'è da capire? What is there to understand? Che forse tradire non è il modo giusto. That may be cheating or also betraying, because tradire technically is betraying, but it is used also for cheating in Italian. We don't have the distinction. That may be cheating or betraying is not the right way. fa solo soffrire. It only hurts. Alla fine, in the end. I am specifying the thing concerning cheating and betraying because it is, I think here it is not only about cheating on your partner. It is more about betraying the trust of someone caring about you and trusting you and thinking you are their safe zone. Which again is very common when you are young and you don't know where you are going or what you are doing in life. Il mare è più bello quando non sta fermo. The sea is more beautiful when it doesn't stand still. E ti fa sentire meno solo, meno solo, meno solo, meno vuoto, ma. And it makes you feel less alone, less alone, less alone, less empty, but. And that's why I was saying that I'm seeing a lot of mare fuori here. Because of the reference to the sea, for example, but also the solitude, the emptiness, the feeling of being lost in life, which often keeps going also after your youth is ended, and how heavy it is even worse. Then we have once again the pre-chorus. Ma si spezza la corda, ci resta poco o nulla, ma siamo ancora a galla, chissà perché. But the rope breaks, we have little or nothing left, but we are still afloat. Who knows why? Siamo la prima volta, quella che non si scorda, quel bacio con la lingua che fa paura. We are the first time, the one that you don't forget, the kiss with the tongue that's scary, that makes you scared. I have my turtle who keeps biting the air, I swear to God. Then we have the chorus. Cosa siamo noi? What are we? Solo diamanti grezzi. Cadono in 1000 pezzi di una storia sola. Only rough diamonds, they fall into 1,000 pieces of a single story. Dove andremo poi? Se corriamo a fari spenti, non siamo più gli stessi, non sappiamo ancora fare a meno di parole che quando si schiantano lasciano il segno. Corrono sopra i 300, in mezzo alle strade del centro. Where will we go next? If we run with our headlight off, we are no longer the same. We still don't know, we still can't help but using words that, when they crash, leave a mark. They speed above 300 km per hour in the middle of the streets of the center. Non saremo mai quello che poi ti aspetti, oro nei fallimenti, solo diamanti grezzi. We will never be what then you expect, gold in failures, only rough diamonds. Then we have once again a little bridge. Perdiamo tutto, we lose everything. L'amore è una sala slot. Love is a slot machine. Mi gioco tutto, I gamble everything, da quando non ricordi più, since you can't remember anymore. So, here we have quite explicitly the description of these unhealthy love and relationships. Why? Because in the song, love is compared to a slot machine, like a gamble. And in fact, she says, mi gioco tutto, I gamble everything. Giocare, normally to play a game, is used in several collocations in Italian. This is an example where in this case giocare means to gamble because it implies giocare d'azzardo. And of course, the artist is talking to someone else, telling them, you don't remember anymore. So I'm losing everything. I'm staying in this relationship, in this love where everything is a gamble because I don't have certainty. One of the biggest red flag, because when a relationship doesn't feel safe, it means that it feels like a gamble, like something incredibly unpredictable, where you can win or lose everything according to something that is out of your control. And of course, this causes like several problems because it is a source of stress. And why is this relationship like this? Because the lover doesn't remember anymore. What doesn't the partner, the lover, remember? Cosa siamo noi? What are we? Solo diamanti grezzi, cadono in 1000 pezzi di una storia sola. Only rough diamonds, they fall into 1,000 pieces of a single story. Dove andremo poi se corriamo a fari spenti? Non siamo più gli stessi. Where will we go next? If we run with our headlights off, we are no longer the same. Non sappiamo ancora fare a meno di parole che quando si schiantano lasciano il segno. Corrono sopra i 300 in mezzo alle strade del centro. We still can't help but using words that, when they crash, leave a mark. They speed above 300 km per hour in the middle of the streets of the center. Non saremo mai quello che poi ti aspetti. Oro nei fallimenti, solo diamanti grezzi. We will never be what then you expect. Gold in failure, only rough diamonds. And that was the lyrics of Diamanti Grezzi by Clara and her entry for Sanremo Music Festival 2024 and also her debut in the Sanremo Music Festival of the Big. Okay, so not Sanremo Giovani. Now. Gossip time. Now, actually, with Clara, I don't really have much gossip to be honest, because as Ness teaches us on Discord, she can be called just a tatina, because Clara, in all the interviews, because you know that my whole my whole point every time I have to do an analysis is watching on like spamming interviews one after the other. And to be honest, Clara seems quite sweet and nice. And in fact, like she seems very genuine and authentic, since it is very appreciated nowadays. So as I was saying, there is a lot of mare fuori, the sea beyond, in this song, because there is a tormented youth who is often in trouble, rebelling hardcore. There is an explicit reference to the sea, and she's a humble queen indeed. She is incredible, sweet, bravissima, and bellissima. There are also several interviews where she sings live, just like our beloved Serena Brancale. which is very nice because let's say that when someone has to depends every time on auto-tune and effects and whatnot and can't pull out 2 notes without needing help, it is quite problematic if you ask me, but it's okay. I can't rant too much concerning the music because it is not my field, so I will contain myself. However, on the lyrics, I can talk, and I have to say, the lyrics are amazing. Clara is not mainly an interpreter because you know that you can write your own lyrics and music. You can receive help in writing your lyrics and music. This is the case of Clara. Or you can just receive music and song by someone else and you have to sing it. Now, each one of these have its own difficulty because if you write your own music and music and lyrics, the song is yours, okay? You are making the song, so perform it. It is part of the process. It is more natural and physiological. While if you have to perform something, a song written, music and lyrics by someone else, you have to relate to it. It is like being an actor. You have to understand how to perform it. For example, this is the case of Massimo Ranieri. Now, she wrote the lyrics and the music, I guess. She received, of course, help with it, but basically all her songs are at least in a small portion autobiographical, okay? She explained in some interviews that she used to be a little rebel when she was young, and this also led her to learn how to sing, to take singing lessons. I think that's the correct formula. And thus, we can see how her personality and herself fits in the song. So yeah, like not much to say. Also because the issue of going back in time to get more info is not always easy. You might tell me, oh, but now we have internet. It was just from last year. You can find everything you need. Okay, first of all, you have to understand that during Sanremo, you find people like journalists just repeating the 4 same things over and over again. So like you can find like 4 articles and they are basically repeating the same exact things in different flavors. So the problem is also to find the good things among all the people repeating over and over the same information. Incredible she didn't fall from the stairs of Sanremo, besides being one of her fear. Unlike other people like the poor Francesca Michelin, who 2 times participated in Sanremo and 2 times she fell. No, actually she participated more times, but I mean, falling from the stairs 2 times already at her age, it's a record at this point, while our beautiful Clara managed to go down the stairs without falling. What? No, it's raising. I didn't mean, I just meant that poor Francesca Michelin was a bit unlucky. Because I mean, she fell 2 times, and like we are very sorry for her falling. To be honest, my bad. I didn't mean to be mean. What else? It was a year of first times because not only it was her first time on Sanremo stage as one of the bigs, not only was the first year where she could work mainly as a singer, not only was the first year where she released an album, but she also opened the Sanremo Music Festival 2024 because she was a first timer and also the first singing and thus opening the festival. And fun fact, she opened the first night of Sanremo Festival 2024 and closed the second night, so like 10 out of 10. What a trip. What an experience. No, but because like in one of the interviews, she said that she was scared about falling down the stairs of Sanremo. Now, what is the problem with Sanremo stairs? I already explained it. The theater where Sanremo is, the festival is hosted, is not as big as you might think. The scenography makes it seem much bigger than it actually is. Now, this entails that you have to make it bigger with the scenography. What is the problem with that? That everything moves, including the stairs. So you have literally stairs going up and down, and they are basically vibrant platforms that are not the stable things in the world. Wouldn't walk on them personally, but the artists have to. And in fact, in 2025, 2 people fell down the stairs and broke something. Probably more, but we only know for certain about those who broke something. Now, if you are on top, excited, feel like with strong feelings because it is your first time participating in such a competition, the difficulty of going down the stairs without falling rises, okay? So, everything considered, because Clara often has very long dresses, she was enthusiastic. She was very excited about participating in Sanremo Music Festival. She is quite tall. In fact, if I remember correctly, she also used to work as a model, and probably this is what saved her, because she, of course, also has the heels. So if you put everything together, the fact that it was her first time and she didn't fall down the stairs, I call it a win, to be honest. And probably her training as a model helped her a lot. What else to say? She ranked 24th out of 30. Good. I mean, everything considered, good. I call it a win. The lyrics are good quality, okay? Because you would like when I saw the presentation, because last year we had the whole drama about of course, Gazo. Probably the song didn't place as high as it should have been, but consider 2 things. Last year, everyone was talking about Joliet and Angelina Mango, because there was the whole thing about the Sala Stampa, who was mad with the audience because they kept boosting Joliet. Now, it is also true that it is very important to have a big audience because, of course, in Sanremo Music Festival, you don't go there, you sing, and that's it. Your audience have a word on it. Angelina Mango comes from a family of musicians, so of course she was renowned already. She also had a lot of pressure due to that. Joliet, it is a famous rapper, so he has a very vast audience. Yeah, exactly. There was the whole Mahmood Gate. We had Annalisa, and we are going to talk about her songs because next week, because Annalisa as well, just like Clara, ended her trilogy in Sanremo 2025. Annalisa ended hers in Sanremo 2024. So, in fact, I'm going from one trilogy to the other, so we follow the same logic. Now, you understand that since she was competing with, also we had the whole drama concerning Gali saying stop al genocidio on the last time, on the last night. So, I mean, Clara was, of course, not under the spotlight, at least not as much as other artists. In a situation when you have Angelina Mango, Joliet, Annalisa, Mahmood, Gali, like discussion about Palestine, the discussions about everything, hate North versus South. Many things happened in Sanremo 2024, so everything considered, the fact that she ranked so high despite being her first time, because let's remember that basically she became a singer only last year, because yes, she was renowned, but as an actress from Mare Fuori. So you understand that, consider everything considered, she did very good. Already being in Sanremo Music Festival last year, great achievement for Clara. By the way, if you're wondering what I am drinking, don't worry, it is just cold tea. It is that moment of the year where I'm going to drink a lot of tea because I have to drink a lot. And it is not even a tea because it is without thein. It is like a chamomilla but with peach flavor. Because they don't have access to any sugar or anything, but I have to drink a shit ton because it's incredibly hot, despite being in the north of France. Climate change. And so, yeah. I don't drink alcoholics. I don't even drink sugary stuff. It is just insane. Beautiful. Anyway, so, exactly. Just like Duolingo teaches us with the ice cream flavors, pesca. Not pesca, pesca, because closed homographs, am I right? So, today we talk about Diamanti Grezzi. Tomorrow we are going to talk about Nero Gotico. And on Friday we are going to close this trilogy and the songs from Sanremo Music Festival 2025 with Febbre. That said, don't forget to let me know in the comments, what do you think about this song, the whole idea of the trilogy, general thoughts. If you have any song you'd like me to analyze, because of course we keep going with Sanremo because they are a bit, probably one of the best way to give you an idea of how Italian music evolves, because in Sanremo we have some peaks. Okay, so if you don't have anything specific to ask, or if we don't have anything specific going viral, because I'm also always checking the trends, just let me know in the comments. That said, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Grazie everyone for watching and arrivederci.